What up folks, Graphics Org here. So I was going through my normal morning routine, my workout, my shave, my foreskin stretch, the half-mile jog, etc. But as I was going into the bathroom to clean up all the pube clippings, I caught an image, a sight, a glimpse of myself in the mirror. And at that very moment, a solitary tear came rolling down my right cheek. As I beheld the majesty before me, and then I knew nothing in this world would be so pure, so beautiful, so spectacularly godlike. And then a second solitary tear came running down my left cheek, because I knew it was a lie! First mod today is Comi Total War by, whatever his name is this week. During the making of this review, he changed his name several times, but I'll give you the link to his workshop, so it doesn't really matter much. This mod changes a lot of aesthetics, from the loading screens to the images that pop up when you commit agent actions. It also uses the expanded map mod from Anime 5. The mod basically paints over the game's historical theme into an adaptation of Oda Nobunaga no Yabo, or The Ambition of Oda Nobunaga, an anime that replaces Japanese history with hot anime girls. So I guess before you play this mod, you just gotta ask yourself simply, what do you like more? History? Her fucking anime girls, yo! So yeah, there's not a lot I can say that you can't see for yourself. These mods replace existing models for daimyos and cavalry, navy and other units with the magnificent glory of anime girls. And coming down the field is the Iko-Iki Daimyo, Nekogami-sama, from the Iko-Iki Daimyo model. She is sporting knee-high socks, pink hair, and of course cat ears. With this outfit, she is perfectly prepared for any skirmish. And all those balls wrapped around her body says she is ready to party, meow. Next down the aisle is Oda Nobunaga from the Oda Daimyo custom model. She be rocking that red like it's rag day every day. And coming in hard from behind is Takeda Shingen from the Takeda Shingen custom model. She can Takeda my Shingen any day. And of course, sneaking in from the woods is Hachigomen to replace ninjas, Hattori Daimyo, and Hattori Hanzo. Almost makes me wish I was allowed near schools again. This guy didn't make the models, but he imported them from other games and made some tweaks for them to work. He can still be credited for bringing them to Shogun 2. Most of the model pieces were taken from Fate Unlimited Code, a Fate Stay Night fighting game, and Kiss Custom Made 3D, which is, I'll just let you figure that out for yourselves. Suffice to say, this is not very history friendly, but if you want to just have some fun with fighting anime girls, hey, this is the mod for you. But if you like more historical, accurate, and realistic, and, strategy, and, tactical stratagem. Next mod up is Fierce at the Gates by Hildor. This is an overhaul mod that needs Hannibal at the gates to use. It basically sweeps away Hannibal and his elephants and his black friend Lawrence and replaces them with King Pyrrhus, a man famous for not finishing the job. His name literally means I won, but I still suck. For those unaware of the history, King Pyrrhus is a Greek king who invaded Italy and tried to conquer Rome. He won most of his battles, but had to return to Greece when the rest of the Hellenic states started making drunken stares at Apollonia. The mod gives us a whole new scenario, a whole new campaign to play in. And like a young boy getting his first smartphone to take upskirt shots of his math teacher, it's just what I've always wanted. I doubt CA is going to give this very interesting war the attention it deserves in a future expansion, so we have this great mod to let us have the experience anyway. Because of the timeline this is set in, a bit before the First Punic War, Vanilla Rome pretty much has everything needed to make the mod feel right. It doesn't need new units, skins, or stuff like that. It just gives us the scenario and we're good to go. It's got only one playable faction, Pyrrhus, a new faction in Italy's toe as a client state of Pyrrhus. Pyrrhus can't die, he can only be wounded. He cannot recruit non-local Hellenic units, only auxiliary Italian units, so with every Pyrrhic victory where he loses an original invasion unit, that unit is gone forever. So take care of those. Stats of Roman soldiers have been buffed to keep the challenge up. Epirus gets a diplomatic bonus with the states of Magna Graecia, and gets a morale bonus in enemy territory. And the most interesting part, I think, is that Pyrrhus suffers from a reduced replenishment rate to increase the impact of Pyrrhic victories. It's a lot like Caesar in Gaul or Hannibal at the Gates with its more compact scenario setting. And it's quite challenging on hard. I'm actually having a hell of a lot of fun playing it, like I did with Caesar in Gaul or Hannibal at the Gates. You can forgive and in turn enjoy these scenario campaigns more because they are small and the AI and diplomacy does kinda what you expect it to do. The grand campaign doesn't always do what you expect it to do and it gets frustrating. In Caesar and Gaul, I expected everyone except my starting allies to hate me and for the campaign to get harder going on, and that's what I got. In Pyrrhus at the Gates, I expected a few allies and a hard time invading and occupying this foreign land without my citizen soldiers to reinforce. And that's what I got. I'm loving this mod, and I hope you will too. Next up is Helm's Deep version 1.2 by Jack Eric 360. This is a Shogun 2 battle map that is added to the game for custom and multiplayer battles. This mod adds in Helm's Deep and Hornburg Forest from the big battle in The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. Now, it's not a complete recreation of the Lord of the Rings world because the modder only really has resources from Shogun 2 to work with, so it has a more Japanese feel than Tolkien. So unfortunately in this version there are no elves firing longbows, no Orokai Olympic running to the walls, and the trees only talk to me in my head. I think this is a very cool map with a lot of fun possibilities that people can have a lot of fun with. And if you ever wanted to recreate the Battle of Helm's Deep with little Japanese people, this is the mod for you. And the last mod today is Rule Britannia by AJ Stoner and his loyal team of minions. So did you guys ever play the Britannia expansion for Medieval 2 and think, wow, this is a fun and in-depth experience with tons of little changes, add-ons, and overall replayability like the main campaign? No, you didn't fucking say that because it didn't fucking happen because this game's fucking boring. The original Britannia campaign was just so bland and boring, and I'm not completely sure why, but maybe it's just the small compacted campaign mixed together with the fact that I wasn't really interested in England's history so much back then. But I loved the Americas campaigns and the Crusades campaign, and I don't even remember the name of the other one. That's the impact it left on me. But I played as Ireland in one campaign and didn't even make it to Henry VIII's private nude beach in Wales before I lost interest. But Rule Britannia promises to remove all the bore from the Britannia expansion, and in my much lauded opinion, succeeds in that effort. There are a lot of changes, too many to list, so I'll leave a link to the TWC thread, but I'll give a quick rundown of some of the best. There are many new units with mercenaries recruited by new buildings. The map is much bigger than vanilla with many new regions. All settlements are now cities that have different building trees for different types of unit recruitments. Forts are now castles and have been permanently placed in key locations all over the map and can hold up to 10 upkeep-free units. There are also small villages peppered all over the map. I'm not sure if they give any kind of income, but the immersion is cool. We also have many new traits and ancillaries all over the place with titles for ruling different cities and for holding different government jobs. There is a trade theater with France where you can send your merchants down and try to fight the other merchants and get control of the French trade. You can't conquer the French city, but that makes sense to keep you warring at home and trading in France. There are 7 factions to choose from: England, Ireland, Scotland, the faction I played for this review.
Damn Scots! They ruined Scotland!
Wales, Norway, Denmark, and the Barons Alliance. All interesting choices with their own strengths, ready to march on your orders to take the crown and become the single true king of Britannia.
Didn't know we had a king. I thought we were an autonomous collective.
Everything you need to know about this mod is at the Total War Center. I'll leave a link below, of course. I think if you like the history of Britannia in this era and were disappointed on how it was represented in the vanilla expansion, this is definitely worth a look. And remember, once you go Britain, well, it's still a nice country. As a final note, there is an update with the Constantine Rise of Christianity mod. It seems recently Dresden and Meloncat have released an expansion pack for the Constantine mod, adding many very historically accurate units to the Roman factions. These are exactly the units I was disappointed he didn't add into the mod when I reviewed it on episode 1. The same units I was asking for him to create, and now we've got them. And they look absolutely fantastic. And he also raises the unit numbers so the armies are far more grand and epic. That is, if you have the computer to handle it. Yes, people, it seems that after my video, and hearing the words of my voice alone, Dresden acted upon my will, and gave us the great new unit pack we have today. A unit pack, mind you, that we wouldn't have if it wasn't for my great and humble voice. Yes, my friends, it seems my suspicions all these years were correct. The accusations of my many, many friends and family have finally been confirmed. I have the powers of a god! A god! Imagine the good I can do with such powers. I could change this world for the better, for its own good, for the greater good. The greater good. I want it now! Well, that's the show for this week. Hope you enjoyed. Sorry for being late. I will try to rectify that in the future. And remember to stay tuned for the next Total War Mods of the Week. I'm your graphics rogue, and I will see you next time. Peace.